Good morning and welcome to the Media Speaks Live Saturday morning news show, Saturday afternoon news show that you can watch later on at night. I'm D. Lake for Prez, David Lake, joined today by my co-reporter, Sam I.B. DeGangi, Sam of the Correct Views, and the band Passing Time, Samuel.
Greetings, unsettled souls, as I try and fix my headset. Welcome to the Saturday edition.
Yes. Fucking pumped. I'm pumped and ready. Sam, did you hear this week that your buddy Gary Johnson entered the presidential race?
I heard about it before I went live. I was floored because he said he wasn't interested all season. And I don't
swear I just said that last week.
but he's running against McAfee, and I know for sure that they were very upset with Gary because we don't really know what happened. I have the article. I could find it if someone questions me on it. Gary Johnson was polling from a reputable, well-known polling company at 10% in Ohio. And he got less than 1% here. And he got less than 1% all over the nation after polling.
And you're referring to the 2012 presidential election. Is that right,
yeah.
Sam?
Yes. He did very, very badly. And I know John McAfee is also running for the same nomination.
Okay. We all know he's pro-pot, as in marijuana. Pro-marijuana politician Gary Johnson announced Wednesday he will seek the Libertarian Party's 2016 presidential nomination. Johnson, a former two-term GOP governor of New Mexico, who was the Libertarian nominee in 2012, what Sam was just talking about, made the announcement in an interview on Fox Business Network. Johnson pitched himself as the fiscally conservative, socially liberal alternative to the Democrats and Republicans in the race. He also shrugged off criticism that he would pull votes from Republicans in the running, saying it's just not the case. Quote, when it comes to libertarians draw as many votes from Democrats as they do Republicans. And like I said, I do believe crony capitalism is alive and well. It's Democrats and Republicans who contribute to that, end quote. How do you feel about that part, Sam?
I think that no matter what happens, he has got to get a final number that is higher than 1%. Like I said, I hate to say someone's cheated when there's no proof, but when you're polling at 5 to 10% and you get 1%, and the polling places are reputable, then it makes you wonder because I went to his rally last year. Last cycle. I got to interview his vice presidential candidate, Jim Gray, and it looks to me like they were plainly cheated. I'm very upset that the Libertarian Party didn't try to figure out what happened here. I have no idea how or why that occurred, or why nobody bothered to ever point this out to any degree, but your numbers do not drop that far overnight. And I'm very happy you brought up Gary Johnson. And the people that have just tuned in, you're going to wonder why I keep mentioning this. Because there's something called federal matching. You get at least 5% of the vote, your party gets the benefit of those matching funds.
Mm-hmm.
And by cheating somebody, you could potentially cheat them out of the next race due to the money that it takes to run not coming into their coffers. So it does matter. And I'm one of the people that I still want answers to where Gary Johnson's numbers went, why this happened, because he didn't do that great.
All right. Well, I mean, that happened in the past, and are you saying that you're thinking we're likely to see the same thing again? And to the point that you also made, Johnson will face stiff competition from John McAfee, a 70-year-old cybersecurity pioneer. That dude's 70? He doesn't look 70. McAfee.
They shouldn't run together.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't they? Also seeking I don't. Does Johnson like McAfee? They probably smoke weed together, huh? Or eat it. They probably eat it. In all, there are 24 candidates vying for the party's nomination. Oh, there's over 24 people vying for the Libertarian Party nomination. Well, it sounds like the Republicans there.
I'd be interested to see who else is on that list. I know one name I would like to see, but he just won't run. Walter E. Williams. I wish he would run. Oh my God.
Yeah, you've mentioned that before. Huh. Well, I mean, do you think we'll likely see the Libertarian candidate, whoever that might be, in any kind of debate with the the Democrats and the Republicans, and or perhaps a independent candidate? Or do you think that they just can't get their numbers up high enough to make that happen in the, with the mainstream media, the ones conducting the debates? Fox News isn't going to go for a Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Independent debate, are they? Or what do you think?
That's what would help the nation the most if it happened. So of course it probably won't. The other
Mhm.
thing is, I think that the libertarians do have enough numbers, but they are, like I said, back to the cheating thing. The country's format cheats anyone that isn't part of the establishment, and you can see them even trying to do that to Trump.
Right, and then just a hypothetical breakdown. Let's just say that the R&D respective nominees was Trump and Clinton. Let's just say. Do you think that if Gary Johnson was the Libertarian candidate, I mean, is he going to have any sort of play, any sort of involvement in any kind of debates? But forgetting the debates, do you think that he'll be able to pull any votes from either of those two candidates?
A lot of people that really dislike Hillary and that really dislike Trump. And I
Mm-hmm.
think in that aspect, you could be looking at a very good likelihood that the libertarian in that instance could actually be heard if he's not silenced by the media. And like again, what we saw last cycle, you never saw Gary Johnson anywhere. A majority of the country probably didn't even know who any third candidate party was. And I think that's what you have to worry about this cycle too. Isn't that his message won't resound, especially with people that don't like Hillary or Trump, but more so that they won't give him a chance to be heard. His voice will never be heard by anyone. And I have found that unfortunately to be the case with the party. And I have voted Libertarian probably more than anybody listening to the show. I've been doing it since Harry Brown, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It seems to be the same cheating cycle every cycle.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling we can expect to see some cheating, maybe on a local level, maybe on a federal level. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, it's even the
Um,
federal level with the third party candidates being like that. Yeah, it's almost always the way that they're kept out.
right. And I mean, skipping over a topic that we'll get back to go to the third topic that I had, since it's in direct line with exactly what we're talking about right now. Top headline on Drudge Report right now: Democrat defection, 20% for Donald Trump. A new poll shows that Donald Trump could win it all. A new survey shows a sizable number of Democrats ready to defect from Hillary Clinton to Donald Trump. So if Donald Trump proved the political universe wrong and won the Republican presidential nomination, he would be creamed by Hillary Clinton, correct? Well, a new survey of likely voters might at least raise momentary dyspepsia for Democrats, since it suggests why it wouldn't be a cakewalk. The survey by Washington-based Mercury Analytics is a combination online questionnaire and dial test of Trump's first big campaign ad. So they played the ad for the people, and some of them liked it, and even some of the Democrats contend they are 100% sure of switching. So basically, Donald Trump, 20% of Democrats say they would ditch and switch to vote for Trump, while a smaller number, or 14% of Republicans, claim they might vote for Clinton, but they're just not as sure about it as these Democrats. And so do you think that if Trump is the nominee and pivots to the center in the general election as a problem-solving, independent-minded, successful, get-it-done businessman, Democrats will no longer be able to count on his personality and outrageous sound bites to disqualify him in voters' minds? Yeah, his sound bites like, take their coats, throw them out in the cold. It's 10 degrees outside. He was just kidding. He was just joking. He's like, confiscate their coats.
I knew when I heard him say that by not saying he was kidding, they were going to jump on him, did they?
Yeah, and then the next night he's like, come on, the news jumped on me. I was just kidding. Come on, I'm Donald Trump over here.
And again, they knew he was kidding. It was very
Yeah.
obvious to anybody that watched it, but they know that.
And I watched his rally last night. I watched it live.
They know they know they can spin it.
Yeah, it's so funny because I watched his rally live last night, and you know, there was some protesters, but the camera stayed mostly fixed on Donald Trump's face like they always do. They don't pan the room. They don't span the room. Like he says, he's like, pan the room. But they only pan if there's protesters, but sometimes they don't. And apparently last night some Muslim lady was kicked out. She had a big star on her chest that said, up here, that lapel that said Muslim. She was wearing the headscarf and all that. She had a shirt that Salam, I come in peace. But she protested. So regardless of if you're a Muslim or black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever, you protested at Trump's rally. It's his rally. They say before the rally, if anyone protests, everyone yell Trump, 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 Trump. We'll get the person out of here. So she was taken out of there. As she was escorted out, someone's like, she has a bomb. Do you have a bomb? And I don't know. I saw her interview this morning. It's a whole big pile of crap. And I think that's just going to make more Democrats be on board with Trump and more independents and possibly more libertarians. I mean, I'm top of the diamond libertarian, and I'm all for Trump this year. And I'm actually pretty excited about it, Sam, because I've been saying Trump, Trump, Trump since day one. And I keep getting proven correct.
I'm still torn as to whether or not in the primaries I'm going to vote Rand or not, because I feel like I need to support Paul. But even though he's
we'll see if Rand is still in it after the next debate and the first two primary voting states. So I have a feeling Rand is out in less than 60 days.
You might be right, because he gave that lead away. And again, that's what happens when you let Donald Trump come out here and start talking about the economy and taxes and jobs and immigration. And what do you got Rand doing? He's out there talking about freaking Planned Parenthood, which I know has sickened a lot of people, but it's not affecting those of us living. And those of us who weren't aborted. You cannot win an election with an anti-abortion platform. You can have an anti-abortion platform and get elected, but if you are using that as your leading charge the way he did at the beginning of the cycle, then you'll see exactly what that does, which is what happened to him.
It was big in the news, but maybe he carried on a little bit too much about it for too long and didn't focus in.
The voice of the economy. Now look what Rand Paul has done for the economy. Look at how he used to own that topic. Who gave Trump that topic? Rand. Rand gave it to him. It's Rand's fault, and I'm very mad at him for that. Trump earned it, and Rand gave it to him. He let Trump form the argument around issues that affected us living, and Rand was out there talking about people that unfortunately didn't get to live. And when you look at that, who are you going to pick? You're going to pick Trump. And that's what happened.
So you're saying because fetuses can't vote?
No, I'm saying people don't care about abortion as they do how their family's going to eat, how they're going to pay their rent, and whether or not they're going to have a job that pays more than $3.75 an hour. They don't care about abortion enough that they're going to go ahead and give you the front running lane in the two-party system. Like the more he talked, the more I could just see his numbers drop, because people want to hear about the economy, immigration, and jobs. They do not want to hear about how many babies have been aborted and whether or not their parts have been sold. That's something you need to fix once you're in office, but that is not going to get anyone in office. It isn't going to ever happen.
What about chainsawing the tax code? Do you think that was a good move?
Yes, way too late. That's what he should have been doing right out of the gate. Yes.
He should have came out the gate with a chainsaw going, where's the tax code? I'm Rand Paul.
Yeah, I mean, he had it. Him and Ted Cruz came into this leading it, and they both dropped significantly, but not like Rand. Poor Rand.
I mean, Ted Cruz is actually been, statistically in the polls holding his own. He looks strong in Iowa.
We gave the presidency to somebody that was born in Kenya, so we might as well give it to somebody that was born in Canada, eh?
Eh? Well, that's been a topic in the news this week. The fact that he was born in Canada, but his mom is a U.S. citizen. That they just released her birth certificate yesterday.
Yeah, he gave up his dual citizenship too. And I don't think he needed to. I really don't. I didn't have a problem with it. I just think it's funny because it'll be the second time we've had a president that wasn't born in this country.
Trump's argument, because they're like, Trump brought it up. Trump didn't bring it up. A news reporter brought it up, and he just responded that it could be an issue for the Democrats, something that the Democrats might use. So you should probably get all your ducks in a row, just in case you're my running mate. He can't say that, but Donald Trump, I mean, that sounds like the way that he was saying it. He wasn't saying, oh, Trump wasn't going full birther again. Sam, did you see?
No,
I'm sorry.
Cruz admitted it.
Breaking up. Did you see? His gun control agenda?
This is what they've done, and I'm going to be real careful how I word this. I'm about to go into Nerdville and give a lot of information that some people won't know. But my ex-wife, I should say, was a social work major.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something called the DSM. The DSM is a book of fairy tales. What it is a bunch of clinical diagnoses that they have for people with various mental illnesses. Now keep in mind, and you can look up John Rappaport if you doubt me on this, there is zero evidence for manic depression for all of this crap that they say that you have. There are no tests for it. None. Zero, zip, zilch. Why? Because they don't exist. There is no manic depression. There is no manic depression. It doesn't exist. There is no bipolar. It doesn't exist. They made it up out of whole cloth because that way people that are very stressed can be sold drugs and there can be a lot of money made on it. That's the beginning.
Oh man, I can attest to that. My ex also, like, yeah, she went to she she was feeling moody or whatever. I mean, she's a chick. She goes to the doctor and he's like, oh yeah, you're bipolar manic depressive. Here, take these prescription drugs. Here you go.
People fall for it all the time. And what they've done is with this, the way it ties into the gun issue is they can now say that you have a mental disorder if you don't like the current president. It's called authority mismanagement disorder, I believe, or something.
Oh, jeez.
And what they're doing is if you go to the hospital and say, I'm really depressed.
Don't like me, I take your guns away. You got a mental issue.
My wife left me, and I've been really feeling like I don't know if I want to be here anymore. It used to be that they would put those people in the hospital or under care, maybe not admitted, and work through it. Now, if that happens, you can't own a gun. Thank you, Mr. Obama, because now every single mental problem could be used as a reason not to own a gun. And the reason that matters is because most people go through periods of utter despair. I managed to lose both parents within 2 years, and it took some getting through. I fortunately was smart enough not to trust a head shrinker, but you work through your problems. Well, take it one step further. What if you're one of those people that aren't able to do what I did and just work through it? You're not going to go to the doctors, because if you do, you can have some bureaucrat in your house taking your firearms away. So
you want the doctors to have Judge Dredd powers?
Don't seek help because it's going to be used against you.
Mm-hmm.
Dread.
Yeah, you want the head shrinkers and the doctor, the head doctors to have Judge Dredd powers and just say that you have a mental problem and just take your guns away. I've done a whole report about that.
Yeah, I mean, if I ever went through a bout of depression or anything, and I don't imagine it would happen, but if I ever needed to go to the doctors, I wouldn't now. I wouldn't go now. It's been ruined. because the more that the federal government gets in anything, the more that anything gets ruined. And what he's done is found a way to link everyone to a mental illness so that he could take the guns away from everybody. And that's exactly what the end game is, even though that's not what he's trying to do now.
Well, what's funny too is though a lot of people that are pro-gun or opponents of his gun control measures are saying it's not about the guns. The guns don't shoot themselves. It's about the people that do it. So it is about mental health. But that doesn't give you the right to just say that the doctors can now that you deputize all the doctors to say who cannot have guns. But I mean, it's a fine line, Sam. But aren't there already enough rules on the books to handle that? Don't you think?
Of course there is. And
why don't you enforce the rules that are on the books instead of writing some bullshit new ones with your fiat executive order that doesn't go through Congress? Look, if you couldn't get it through Congress 3 times, it's probably because it's a shitty idea. Go ahead, Sam. Sam, are you there? Hello. I think you froze up. Anyways, I think it's a really crappy idea. Sam, I think you're frozen up there. Also in today's news, everyone. Sam. Okay, so we're having a freezing issue there. Also in today's news, drug kingpin El Chapo was recaptured. Apparently he's going to go to the same prison that he escaped from. They're like, you're not getting out this time, pal. One of the world's most notorious outlaws thought about one thing after escaping from a Mexican prison for a second time. A movie about himself. Oh, what a great idea. The infamous drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman Loera, it amounted to hubris. His vanity helped authorities in recapturing him for a third time. Police and the military successfully hunted down Guzman and his henchmen this week, partly because he and his representatives contacted filmmakers about making an El Chapo biopic. Mexican Attorney General Arlie Gomez said. Another important aspect that allowed us to pinpoint his location was having discovered Guzman's intentions to film a biographical movie through establishing communications with actors and producers, which formed a new line of investigation. Hollywood will likely make a movie or even a series about El Chapo, as it has about other drug lords, such as Colombia's Pablo Escobar in the Netflix series Narcos. But for now, El Chapo won't have a direct hand in any of this. His efforts to develop a biopic ends in a scene with high irony. After 6 months on the run, El Chapo is now back in the same maximum security prison from which he escaped, according to a Mexican law enforcement official with knowledge of the case. Sam, do we have you back?
I hope so.
Okay, great. And did you hear me talking about El Chapo being recaptured as a result of him wanting to make a biopic about himself?
Yo, get shouty. I don't believe it. It's hilarious. At least he had the balls to take on ISIS. I'll give him that. I
remember that.
He's not a very nice person, but I was proud of him for that.
Yeah, he's like, I don't care if you're ISIS. If you fuck with my drug cartel and my drug shipments, we're going to fucking kill you.
And I think that might have been how he got caught, was he just couldn't keep his mouth shut. And they traced him back probably from that very... they figured out where...
You know what's funny about that story? How did El Chapo have... al-Baghdadi, leader of ISIS's encrypted email address? And if he has it, don't you think that the Obama administration has it? And don't you think they should maybe try to do something about that?
I think he twittered it, didn't
he? Twittered it. No, he sent it to him in an encrypted email. He had the leader of ISIS's email address.
It's funny.
It's probably ISIS@HillaryClinton.com.
You have
Clinton email.
People in the world like Hillary Clinton and El Chapo and al-Baghdadi. And then you have good people like Rand Paul and Donald Trump and Gary Johnson. And it seems like everybody gravitates towards the most evil, whether or not whichever evil is closest to the mindset that you already have. It's just disgusting. If you are a leftist progressive, then your particular evil is Hillary. If
Mhm.
you are an Islamist fundamentalist who is radicalized, then you go to Baghdadi. You never go to anybody that's good.
Oh yeah.
So you got Al Chapo, yo, and who's your Baghdadi? Great, great.
Well, I don't know what you think the percentage of chances of El Chapo escaping the same prison twice, but I don't really think that's going to happen. But he managed to do it once, so good for him.
He's done it twice.
There should be a movie about that.
He's done it twice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they said that it was captured him for the third time. Okay, well, if we have to make it a fourth time, shame on us. But or shame on Mexico actually, not us, but how do you feel? Have you been reading anything, and how do you feel about those the guys that took over the refuge there at the ranch?
It looks
You know what
like
I'm talking about?
the wrong hill to die on because they don't have the support of the family that they're trying to support. It almost
The
looks like
Hammonds.
using the family as an excuse to try and start a flashpoint rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
But flashpoint rebellion led by a lot of people that people within the movement really don't trust. I've gotten a bad feeling about them. That they're more
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of stuff that says, provocateur agents and stuff like that. If you people don't know what we're talking about the refuge that was taken over by so-called militia, but like Sam was just saying, other people in militias and those type of organizers are saying that these guys it seems sort of provocateur. It was all coming about the same time as Obama's gun control speeches, and a lot of people got really suspicious. I heard a lot of people went there initially thinking it was one thing and turned away when they found out what it really was. But go ahead, Sam. Please continue.
Yeah, that's it. It's like imagine if I said, "Hey, D, we're going to go ahead and protest the police station because they did, the too many checkpoints, too much of an invasion of our Fourth Amendment."
Okay.
You say, "All right, Sam, I'm going to come down and stand with you. This is bullshit. You're right." And then when you get there, you find out that my goal is to take over the police station, and you're like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, in an armed insurrection, I'm like, Sam, that's such a good idea. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did. And I mean, if you're going to make a statement and you're going to take something, then take something that Matt and they're holed up in this area that nobody even cares about. And in my opinion, it's going to continue on to an issue where it gives a black eye to the liberty movement, it gives a black eye to militias, and it's going to make responsible gun owners look ridiculous. I'm not against them finally taking a stand. I'm not a sunshine patriot. I get it. I understand what they're trying to do, and I support what they're trying to do. But to do it the way they're doing it, with the very pretense of the act being a lie, anything that's immediately based on a lie is not good, and that's immediately what they did. Obama couldn't get the numbers to get his gun legislation through Congress, so he just lied through executive order. The same thing. These people that have taken this, what is it, a wildlife refuge, whatever it is, these people that have taken over the land lied, couldn't get their agenda passed through their own people, so they just lied.
Essentially, an abandoned federal building, this wildlife refuge where they assembled, and they took it over in that regard. But it was just kind of abandoned, sitting there. They're like, "Hey, we're gonna take this over."
And I think that is they do exactly what Obama did. They lied to their own people. And just because they're quote unquote on our side doesn't mean that I like them. I think it was a very poorly thought out idea, and it's going to do the Bundy uprising helped the liberty movement. I believe that this action is going to hurt the liberty movement.
Yeah, that's the first thing that turned me off. I'm like, I feel like they're using the Bundy story to perpetuate this story, but just doesn't feel the same. It didn't have the same thing. And it was the Hammonds, I believe, father and son. They were convicted of arson because they set, fires on their property, but they were controlled fires, but I guess not controlled enough because they spilled over into federal land. They had to do some time. I'm a little not all the way 100% clear on what exactly happened, but they had to go back to prison to serve more time or something like that. And that's when these, militia defenders of the Hammond family said, we're going to go there and protect the Hammonds from having to do this time. The Hammonds said, we're just going to go do our time and get it over with, and we really don't need your help. But they're like, no, what we're going to do is go take over a federal building and get all these people to come to your aid. And they're like, I mean, what can we do? We got to go back to prison.
Yeah. What they should have done was refuse. They should have surrounded the family by choice. But the family okayed it. The family should have let themselves be surrounded by choice and then refused to go to prison. That's a standoff that a lot of us would have been in favor of because the fire was not deliberate nor was it malicious. You have the EPA poisoning an entire water system and nothing happens to them. But yet, when a citizen makes a mistake on his own property, and what they're trying to do, and this is where the people that took over the land are correct, the government is overstepping their bounds, and they need to be called into check, and they need to be called into check by the people. And if that means armed people, then so be it. That means armed people. I don't even have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is lying and going against the wishes of the people that you claim you're trying to help when all you're doing is trying to move your own grandiose view in a direction that a lot of people simply aren't on board with you for. And that's what they did.
Mm-hmm. Did you also hear other breaking news this week, Sam, that there might be a smoking gun in the Hillary Clinton email investigation currently being conducted by the FBI?
You've been on it with these. I'm excited.
Okay, well, the smoking gun is this, and it's gigantic. She caused to be removed a classified marking and then had it transmitted in an unencrypted manner. That is a felony. The removal of the classified marking is a federal crime. It is the same thing to order someone to do it as if she had done it herself. So back in 2011, in an email chain with senior State Department advisor Jake Sullivan, Clinton apparently asked Sullivan to change the marking on classified information so that it no longer flagged as classified. Clinton, using her private email server, asked for the TPs, which are the talking points. And Sullivan, who is using his official State Department email, responds, they say they've had issues sending secure fax. So the secure fax wasn't working. And then Clinton says, here it is, Sam, smoking gun in an email chain. Clinton responds, if they can't send it secure fax, turn into non-paper with no identifying heading and send non-secure. Take the classified heading off it and send it to my private email at hillaryclintonemail.com, Sam. That is fucking huge.
And hopefully that will disqualify her. But again, she's like, Bill, Donald Trump can't throw a protester out of his own damn rally without it being front page news. But this crazy hag can put the entire country at jeopardy and nothing happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also this week, since we're on the Clintons and you just mentioned Bill, yeah, they're like, hey, is your past fair game? Can we talk about what you did in the past? And he's just stuttering and stammering. I saw another news report yesterday where they were talking about Bill Clinton. Do you know that Bill Clinton and Donald Trump are like exactly the same age, but Bill Clinton looks just like way more old and weathered, and Trump has this amazing energy?
Well, I mean, look at Monica Lewinsky, and then look at some of the women Trump have had, and you can see, everyone has. I'm kidding.
Well, also, in the news, they were saying consensual relationships that Bill Clinton had. Bill Clinton, you were fucking married. I mean, so who was it consensual on Hillary's part as well? Did you guys have an open relationship while you served in the fucking office?
Well, my guess is that it was probably okay on both parts.
Yeah, but doesn't look good.
it's just that we live in a country where they couldn't just tell the truth, which was probably they allow each other to do that, which is fine. There's a million relationships like that. I don't care. It doesn't. It's no skin off my nose what he's doing. But the way
Yeah.
it's handled proves what lying pieces of trash they really are.
Yeah. Well, in the case of Monica Lewinsky, I think that's a lot different than the case of Juanita Broderick, who said
Yeah.
she was raped, or Kathleen Wiley, or Paula Jones, or, I mean, Roger Stone says he has more than a dozen. The author of the Clintons' War on Women. Regardless, Sam, all this stuff has to go to Obama's Attorney General Lynch, who is not likely. I mean, I read another report that the FBI, because the FBI is they're well, they try to be, and James Comey says they're apolitical. They're not political. They try to keep everything above board and not play those political games. Another FBI said that there would be a revolt inside the FBI if the Attorney General fails to take this case and do some prosecution, considering the overwhelming evidence that Hillary put our nation at risk with her unsecure homebrew private server that she said she set up because she didn't want to have two devices, and that's just totally ridiculous. I mean, I'm logged into Gmail, different accounts, Google, Facebook, YouTube, all this other crap on one machine. So I don't know how I know this stuff and she doesn't know it. But she apparently, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. One of the FBI guys said within the next 60 days, we're going to see the FBI take some action on this. And that was the same article that said there could be a revolt. Sam, did you step away or do I have you there? All right, well, I'm just going to keep going before we get to Sam's science news. Let me go back to the fabulous Durudge report. Aw, snap, something went wrong. Well, that sucks. Get it right, internet, piece of crap. Loading. Okay, it looks like I'm still connected. Yeah, email suggests she broke the law. She instructed her aide to remove classified markings from information, a federal offense. Oh, really? Oh, at least 1,340 emails now contain classified material. Oh, but we only marked it classified after we found out what it was. Oh, well, don't you think Hillary Clinton should have known at the time? Oh, well, she's super smart, but she's super fucking stupid. I don't know how she could be both. At least 1,340 Clinton emails now known to contain classified information. Sam, are you back? Go ahead.
Maybe she's just really super dishonest.
Oh, Sam, don't talk like that. Look, not all of America is sick of the ongoing investigations into Hillary Clinton. Some people like Sam and I, we want to know more. Almost half of registered voters think the Benghazi investigation should continue. However, America is not split as cleanly on her use of a private email server.
Well, Bernie doesn't see a problem with it. Bernie thinks it's fine.
He's sick and damn tired of hearing about it.
Meanwhile, the reason this matters to the average person listening is because she's doing it with the safety of your family, your kids. Your kids go to school every day. You know what? These emails that are going back and forth, they're affecting policy in a number of different ways. And things are classified for a reason. Because if the wrong information falls into the wrong hands, then it can be used for anything. It can be used for terrorist plots. It can be used for nuclear weapon exchanges. We already know that the reason China now has nuclear weapons pointed at us is because of Chinagate. And listeners, look up Chinagate. Go ahead. Look up Chinagate. Learn how the first Clinton presidency built. Learn how that led to nuclear proliferation that now has nuclear weapons pointed at you and me and our families. This was because of the last time the Clintons messed up with something that involved security. And now we're seeing it again before you even elect her. Really?
Yeah, and we saw everything that happened in Libya, but we're just going to be like, oh yeah, you should be the president.
Libya, Gaddafi warned us. I saw that this week. Gaddafi warned us exactly what was going to happen. Now, let me find this. Here, listen to this.
Yeah, good one.
I was gonna cover it on my.
You're sort of robo-samming there, but it's probably because you're trying to look something up. All right.
Now that we're on the topic.
Okay, Sam is looking something up. I think it's causing him to robo-sam a little bit. But as soon as he finds it, we should be good. Go ahead, Sam. Okay. Jeez, Sam just froze up right when he was going to his story. Sam, you froze up there. He was going to the story about how Gaddafi had previously warned of all this stuff was going to happen. There he is. Okay, Sam, do I have you back?
Yes. I hate fucking Google Plus.
I think somehow when you start using the internet, it screwed you up. You robo-sammed. But go ahead, Sam, with that headline.
Telegraph.co.uk, Colonel Gaddafi warned Tony Blair of Islamist attacks on Europe in phone conversation. In other words, they were more worried about ousting Gaddafi, who was actually keeping all of this in check, than they were about the warning that he gave them. And the warning he gave them predicted ISIS. It predicted the refugee crisis, and it predicted all of the attacks that we're seeing now. Listen to this. Tony Blair said, if the leader says he wants to end the violence, you have to understand how this is to the outside world. My concern is how this the most must find a way through this. Best to engage in things and coffee, lay in for justification. He said the U.S. and the EU are in a tough position right now, and I need to take something back to them that ensures this ends peacefully. In other words, Tony Blair needs to tell America that we are going to take your country from you, and we're not going to help you fight terrorists. We're going to focus more on the fact that we've decided to steal your country from you, whether you or your people want it or not. Tony Blair spoken to the people. Absolute key thing is the bloodshed and violence must stop. Gaddafi, who said that? Nothing. Gaddafi was saying that they're lying about him. Tony Blair. These are reports that are out there on news. Let me explain, because I have talked to people. Everyone wants a peaceful end to this. Gaddafi, no fighting at all in Libya. Who said that? They want something else. It's a campaign of colonialization. We have to defy colonialization. There is nothing here, no fight, no blood. Come to Tripoli and see everything. He invited them there. The belief is, Tony Blair said, that there is fighting going on. If you have a safe place to go, you should go there, because this will not end peacefully. And there has to be a process of change. Pause. What right does Tony Blair have to tell Gaddafi that he has to hide, because we are going to tell you what's happening in your country, even though you're telling us that this is not happening and it's your country? Do you understand the hubris of this son of a bitch? The colonialization I have to arm the people and get ready for a fight. In other words, he was saying, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you coming after me? What you're going to do is create ISIS, and you're going to destabilize the whole region. There was no fighting in Libya until Tony Blair and Hillary Clinton and Obama did this. Gaddafi, while not a real good man, was put into check by Ronald Reagan and has stayed in check ever since. The man gave up his program, and what did he get? He got his country stolen from him. He got beheaded, and he got his head kicked around like a soccer ball when he died.
Yeah, and stuff put up his butt and everything.
Yeah, so literally they sodomized him with broom handles and whatnot. So yeah, when you have that's what Tony Blair is. Want to know where ISIS came from?
Well, we saw he died.
And that was Mrs. Clinton creating ISIS right there with that one move. She brought us ISIS. And let me ask you a question. Maybe you're somebody listening to this and you don't follow politics a lot. Okay, fine. Maybe D-Light could cut this segment out and use it as a break. Did you ever hear? Because if you don't follow news, you probably never even heard of Gaddafi. If you did, you didn't know who he was. I bet you know who ISIS is. So doesn't that alone tell you that Tony Blair and Hillary Clinton made the wrong decision? Right there. Right there's your proof. You never heard about Gaddafi bothering anybody, but you sure heard about ISIS. So when was the world a better place?
And I do believe if you go look at the let's say the prosperity statistics of Libya under Colonel Gaddafi during his reign, and then look at the same statistics for jobs, women's rights, all the liberal crap that you want to talk about, education, health, everything. Every statistic was better under Gaddafi's rule than it is now. We had the rise of ISIS from the power vacuum.
Yes.
Is that right, Sam?
They had the highest standard of living in all of Africa.
The highest standard of living in all of Africa.
When you got married, your family was given, in some instances, most instances, a house. You were given like $1,000 to start your life together. And I'm not saying I'm in favor of socialism. What I'm saying is he had a country that worked for them. He had the Christians not being butchered by the Muslims. He had the different factions of Islam not slaughtering each other on a daily basis.
And to add to that list that you're going down, Sam, he killed terrorists. Yes. If you were a terrorist in his shit, you were fucking dead.
Yes. And now you have Islam fighting Islam. You have the Christians run out of the regions and slaughtered en masse. I think I'm going to say it. I don't think Gaddafi was that bad of a man towards the last 25 years or so. He became a team player, and they stole his country from him and butchered him and gave it over to savages who are now terrorizing the entire world. That is because Hillary removed Gaddafi. That is exactly
why. Excuse me, yeah, here it is.
What's the official reason that they said they ousted him for?
I'm sorry, Sam. I was just thinking about something that I had heard in a previous news report a while ago, and here it is. I found it. Donald Trump once rented land to this brutal dictator that we're talking about, Gaddafi, when he visited the United States. Now, of course, in American news media, he's always got to be the brutal dictator. He's Muammar Gaddafi. Okay, presidential candidate and international business mogul Donald Trump is all over the news these days for his off-the-cuff statements in an increasingly competitive bid for the 2016 Republican nomination. Yes, we're aware of that. Back in 2009, Trump was up to other things, including renting out property to now disposed and deceased Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi. When making a trip to New York, Gaddafi pitched a Bedouin tent, a very large nomadic tent, on property owned by Trump after struggling to find accommodations in the traditionally tent-free city. In other words, at one of Donald Trump's properties, they set up a gigantic tent for Gaddafi to hold his press conference for the American media back in 2009.
What was it?
Muammar Gaddafi came to New York.
Trump's
Trump.
I missed all of this. That's it.
this is back in 2009, Sam. But when maybe you've seen the videos of Gaddafi when he was here in America and he's inside a big giant tent. Well, it was on a Trump property, and Trump might even, maybe not him personally, but his organization probably had a hand in setting up the giant tent.
That's a trip.
Yeah.
If that's the worst they have on, it's fine. The thing is with Gaddafi is he didn't get a lot of he messed up with Lockerbie because again he
go back and watch Gaddafi's speech in front of the United Nations where he basically predicted that they were going to come after him and fucking kill him because he wasn't going to go along with all their crap because the New World Order was trying to impose their fucking shit on his country. And what Sam brought up is Europe and not David Cameron, but who was it at the time, Sam? In those emails?
Tony Blair.
Oh yeah, Tony Blair. Yeah, Tony Blair basically confirming that you need to go hide or else we're gonna come get you, right?
And again, for nothing, for nothing. If they were going to kill him for Lockerbie, would have been in favor for at the time. The time for that had come, and they did is they destroyed the gatekeeper. They destroyed the person who was keeping people.
At their own peril, and now we have ISIS in the migration. Thanks, Hillary. Did a great job. Sam, did you have any science news today? Sammy?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead through two of them because they're kind of...
Okay, Sam, I'm going to... Sam, let me talk while you... Sam, let me set up the news from the science front while you bring up those articles because it seems like every time you are starting to bring stuff up on your computer, you start robo-samming. I'm going to give Sam a second here to bring up those articles so that he can deliver his amazing news from the science front. And just give me a nod when you're ready there, Sammy. And it's going to be great, like it always is, Sam's news from the science front. Sam, are you ready with the news from the science front?
I hope we are ready. Tiny
Here we go.
Tiny shark that glows, discovered in the deep ocean. Scientists, it says, have discovered a shark that glows in the deep ocean and is so tiny that it might fit in your hand. Named Etomopteris one more time. Carus Betchel, it looks like Becelli, in honor of the shark's conservationist and Jaws author Peter Benchley. So it'd be a Benchley. Okay, gotcha. Why'd they change the spelling? That was stupid. Glass-like teeth and emerald eyes was caught in 2010 as part of an expedition off the Central American coastline on the Pacific side. With only 8 specimens to go by, I don't know why it was found in 10. They're calling it discovery this year that they are. With all of them, so was not spent in the ocean at depths ranging from 2,742 feet to as much as 4,734. Scientists don't know what it is, what threats it faces, or even how widespread it is. It's probably living, it says, in an environment where it might, even though it's really small compared to a grad student, we're not totally sure that this is one eating the other. But other lantern sharks are eating smaller fish, crustaceans. It's likely that it's eating the same thing, something similar. Well, I don't know why they don't just dissect one of them and see what's in its stomach. How many people listening to this do you like are stupid comments like that? What the hell is in its stomach? That's probably what it eats. Call it a hunch. Dumbasses. Scientists behind the discovery say for sure that the pint-sized shark wouldn't send beachgoers into to a tizzy white shark. They say there's only been a few reports alluding to how dangerous the shark might be, which is funny since the largest one that they've ever seen is only 20 inches from head to tail. They don't have a lot to tell her, but if there is no data on this new species, yeah, because it's very unlikely that man could go down that far without some kind of. The shark has the characteristic glow of most lantern sharks. They believe it uses that skill much less, hence its common name, the ninja lantern shark. The name was
Cool.
selected by ages from 10 to 14 and acquired by black parents. Of lantern sharks, these photophores are clustered in these really obvious black markings. So you can imagine how difficult it was markings on an already black. But under a microscope, you can actually see the dots themselves. They were there. We just didn't see any of these in really obvious clusters. This is interesting, especially when you remember this week that unfortunately Japan has killed a great white by trying to keep one in captivity. Of course, that never works. So the great white died. It only lived like 3 days. But it says the discovery of this particular shark is part of a growing trend. And new finds have been increasing from 1970 to 1999. Scientists only discovered 9 species of shark. But from 2000 to 2009, they've doubled to an 18 a year before declining to 14 a year. And as she said, the deep exploration increases. They're going to find more. As to the other one I wanted to do along with this is also from Fox News. The 10 strangest animal discoveries of 2015. Sneezing monkey, Snubby the sneezing where it's up the car on wet days. It rains up its nose. The usual white and black monkey lives in a northern Myanmar region and can be heard sneezing off its nose puddles when it rains. Now, how they didn't find this animal before, I'll never know because it sounds like it makes quite a bit of noise as it collects rainwater up its nose. The sleeve, or should we say nose, it writes, it often tucks its head between its knees when it rains so that it won't spend all of its time sneezing. Yeah, researchers announced the sneezing monkey into the world in 2010, but its 211 new species have been discovered in the Himalayas. So a lot of this stuff was old, and you're just giving it an official title now. It shows how slowly science moves because we spend too much money bombing each other. We don't even have doctors smart enough to dissect a shark. Two, smallest snail on Earth, the tiny snail in Borneo, edged out the species in China for the title of the world's smallest. The teeny champion is known as Acamelanana, and its translucent white shell measures 0.027 inches and lives on limestone hills. It's a pipsqueak, it said. We got the terror bird. Want to be terrified? Imagine a 10-foot tall, flightless bird chasing prey with a hooked beak. These giants, aptly named terror birds, lived in South Africa about 50 million to 1.8 million years ago, and likely sent any animal they chased into a stricken in April on a dig. And it looks like a giant dinosaur version of a ostrich. Legs look rather intimidating, actually. The Dementor wasp. And I hate when people say, I'm allergic to bee stings. Everybody's allergic to bee stings. Researchers named a newfound wasp Ampux Dementor. The name was inspired by Harry Potter's Dementors, ghost-like creatures that suck away a person's happy thoughts and soul. If they're feeling particularly ravenous, the wasp eats cockroaches in an impressive, scary way. It injects venom into the cockroach's belly, turning its prey into an immobile, passive zombie. But the venom doesn't actually kill it, meaning the cockroach gets eaten alive by the Dementor wasp afterwards. If you don't like cockroaches, there you go. People in Florida will like it. They'll be getting these wasps as pets. A 5-sized vacuum cleaner. It might not help clean a living room, but about 23 million years ago, a hippo-sized mammal used its long snout as a vacuum cleaner, suctioning up tasty morsels of marine algae and seagrass from the coast. That's interesting because it's almost like a cross between a hippo and an aardvark. 6. The Skeletorus or sparkle muffin. It's worth overcoming arachnophobia to get a look at these two beauties entangled, endearingly dubbed, yes, Skeletorus and sparkle muffin. Both are peacock spiders, named for their bright colors and dance-like courtship rituals. Um, Skeletorus looks like a cartoon skeleton with its black and white markings, where Sparkle Muffin has red and blue coloring. Both are from Australia. Um, I'm looking at the screen real quick. Isn't that awesome? That is just. I'll have to look at this when I'm done. Deluxe doing a great job. 7. The enormous sea scorpion. Iowa has a lot more than cornfields. During an excavation from an ancient meteorite impact crater in the upper Iowa River, researchers uncovered the fossilized remains of human-sized sea scorpions.
This motherfucker is huge.
With both the sea scorpions likely ate bivalves and squishy eel-like creatures during their day about 460 million years ago. I like how they never hint at the fact that it may have been part of the meteorite's food for thought. 8. The four-legged snake. A Christelle favorite, I'm sure. Modern snakes slither around on their bellies, but 120 million years ago, their ancestors sported 4 feet, each with 5 digits. The new species was serendipitously discovered in a museum exhibit of fossils from the Crater Formation in northeastern Brazil. The Solnfeld Museum in Germany has labeled it an unknown fossil, but David Martill, a paleobiologist at the University of Portsmouth in the UK, gave it a long look, and his jaw dropped when he realized that it had 4 legs. A snake with legs has now been identified. 9. Pig-nosed rat with vampire.
The legs look really small though, and kind of not matured. I don't know.
It probably moved more like a centipede, which makes it even creepier.
Yeah.
The pig-nosed rat with vampire teeth. I think I dated this one. An elusive rodent. I'm sure I did. An elusive rodent from the Indonesian island of Sulawesi is a newly identified species, and a weird one at that. The critter has a hog-like nose and oversized upturned teeth that would make a vampire jealous. I've never seen a rat with a nose like that, said the curator of mammals at Louisiana State University. When I looked up the trap, I knew it was a new species. There was absolutely no doubt about it. That is quite a powerful nose, I must say. I intend the T-Rex's vegetarian cousin. Tyrannosaurus rex, known for its bone-crushing bite and knife-like teeth. The beast's lust for meat wasn't shared by its cousin, the newfound Chiliosaurus. Looks like Digoras izzy. Diego Suarez, a 7-year-old, is the 7-year-old son of a paleontologist. The 7-year-old, mind you, discovered the dinosaur during a 2010 excavation in southern Chile. A thorough dig yielded more than a dozen individuals, ranging in size from a turkey to one that was nearly 10 feet long, and they were strict plant eaters. So we know how to dissect a dead dinosaur bone, but we can't dissect a shark that died, a week ago. I don't get it. The 45 million year old dinosaurs are oddballs with characteristics belonging to theropods, mostly meat-eating bipedal dinosaurs and plant eaters. I know they can tell by their teeth. I was kidding. It just shows that we really don't know much about dinosaurs at all, said Tarmus Cole. And there you go. 10 animals discovered in 2015. I've given you 11 new species. Science front. And D-Lake, to his credit, did not even know half of these were coming, and he was on those pictures that quick.
Yeah. What was number 11? You?
Did I miss one?
Oh, you said there was 10. Hey, check out this video real quick.
11 was the other one, the story before, remember? The shark.
Listen to this music, Sam. You probably like this. Look right here. Watch the Black Widow start spitting webbing on the tail. Is that cool, Sam?
It looks like they kill each other because it looks like the scorpion got the spider, but then the spider bit the tail. They kill each other, didn't they?
I don't know if the scorpion's dead at the end, but here's the end. Yeah, Scorpion looks dead too. I think they killed each other. Good call, Sam.
Yeah, well, that's a good analogy for all of mankind to watch.
Hey, when you said sneezing monkey, I saw this video this week, a snoring hummingbird.
Real quick. That's what mutually assured destruction is. I got nuclear missiles, and Russia's got nuclear missiles, and what's going to happen then? Go watch the Scorpion Black Widow video, friends. That's what happens. That's what happens when two deadly forces meet. Right there. Good video, D-Lake. There's a good analogy there for people willing to learn and listen.
Oh, yeah. So like I was saying, you brought up sneezing monkeys, Sam, in your top 10 new animals of 2015.
Indeed.
Have you seen the snoring hummingbird?
No, but I'm about to be him after the show.
A scientist in Peru captured this, escaping from the tiny body of a sleeping hummingbird. A high-pitched but unmistakable snore. Hummingbirds are loved for their beauty and speed, but this one...
It's like, what the fuck is that sound, Sam?
If that doesn't make you smile and you don't just love that, then there's something wrong with you as a human being. That's adorable.
I know. Look at me. I love it. Smiling. I'm ear to ear.
Yeah. As soon as you see it, smile immediately. Immediate smile as soon as I saw it.
A hummingbird? He's snoring? That's awesome.
One more time. Put him back on. One more time. I love him. All night. You're already.
A little bit like a human. The perfect cute response trigger.
Okay. Snoring hummingbird.
You're the bomb, D-Like. You are the bomb.
All right. You want to wrap it up? We got any entertainment news real quick?
Oh, yeah. Go. Do yours first, and I'll see what I've got here bookmarked.
Oh, geez. I don't know. I have a movie on bootleg, The Revenant. I saw just a little brief clip of the bear rape or the bear attack on Leo. It's like, fuck you, Leonardo DiCaprio. I hated Titanic. No, he's like, fucking, or she, because like, you see the baby bears, and then the mother bear's like, mother, what? I don't know. But I'm looking forward to watching that later.
Unfortunately, I've got news on one of my least favorite people in all of Hollywood. I absolutely hate this man. Daily Caller, Samuel L. Jackson really wanted the San Bernardino shooters to be white. What a dickhead. Actor Samuel L. Jackson says in the aftermath of the San Bernardino shooting, He found himself hoping the attacker was a white male. Yeah, that way it can play into your artificial racism. That's why. If he's not white, Samuel, then it must be a problem because now you can't prove your racism, which is never there to begin with. I can't even tell you how much that day, the thing that happened in San Bernardino, I was in Hawaii, how much I really wanted that to be just another, crazy white dude and really not some Muslims. Yeah, because he wants to like the Muslims and believe they're peaceful. And he wants to believe that the white people hate the black man, and it just isn't true. Jackson, famed for his roles in Pulp Fiction, Snakes on a Plane, and dozens of other films, said the shooting was distressing because it helped focus public suspicion on Muslim Americans in a way that earlier attacks on Paris and Fort Hood did not. Maybe Samuel L. Jackson, that's because it's the Muslims doing all the killing. And maybe we should keep an eye on it. What do you think? Again, not all Muslims. I'm talking about the ones shooting. It's like, oh shit, it's here. And it's here in another kind of way, he said. Now, okay, it happened at an army base and it happened somewhere else. But now it's like they have a legitimate reason to look at your Muslim neighbor or friend in another way. Well, he's obviously looking at white people in another way, but that's okay, right? He's allowed to do that. What a dickhead. Jackson said the experience of Muslims made them the new young black man. Only in that young black men tend to have a tendency to kill each other in very high numbers. And Muslims have a tendency to kill each other in very high numbers. Do white people kill each other? Yes, they do. Not in the same high numbers. And if that's not politically correct to say, then I'm sorry. He also weighed in on the hot button topic of police violence, saying it goes back to the hostility upon soldiers turning from Vietnam.
So you're breaking up a little bit.
This unity, he as a person is a piece of human filth. He divides people, and he is a voice of anti-unity. I dislike the man greatly.
Oh, come on! I like Samuel L. Jackson. But Sam, that was from 2 weeks ago. This past week, he's been in a feud with Donald Trump, who sent him a bill for his golf membership. He says he hasn't been to that club in years. He says Donald Trump cheats at golf. And Trump says he doesn't remember golfing with Samuel L. Jackson, and Samuel L. Jackson has an eyewitness that says that they did golf together, and he bought someone else a jacket, but didn't buy Samuel L. Jackson a jacket because he already had a coat. He didn't need a coat. He's going to confiscate the coat and put him out in the cold.
Well,
go ahead.
How do you cheat at golf?
Because he said he hit the ball like into the fucking water. But his caddy like ran down the hill and came back and said, "I found your ball, Mr. Trump." And they're like, "Was he wet?" No, he was not wet. He's like,
wow. I mean, I guess I don't play golf.
Trump's like, "I don't cheat at golf. My caddy does."
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson. I like his movies. I love Pulp Fiction. I ain't gonna lie. But I have no respect for that man as a person. He's just crappy.
All right.
Three Bad Mice is a really good techno song, by the way. It might be Two Bad Mice, but it's a really good song.
Oh, yeah. So, in my last bit of entertainment news, everyone please go to stickerjunkie.com. I'm going to be redesigning the new website this week. And I think it's going to be super awesome. You can make stickers that say whatever you want. You can get some cool stickers like this Donald Trump sticker that I made. And it actually fits perfectly on a lighter.
Nice.
All right. And you can make stickers, whatever you want, any kind of stickers, Sam. I know you're trying to get some stickers made for your band. You have my email address. You know what it is.
Oh, yeah. And whatever you do, make sure you're emailing, because even if you have D-Like's phone number, he won't answer you. He won't. You can call, you can text, he won't answer.
I won't.
Never. All right, friends, you can find me at The Correct Views at hotmail.com, youtube.com/The Correct Views. I'm also on Tumblr.
I might call you later.
You can find me real easy because I'm the only person on Tumblr. I also mess around from time to time on Planet Infowars. I don't know if it sees much traffic, but that's where you can find me. D-Lake, where can they find you?
Sure. People can find me like on Facebook. And like I said, please go to stickerjunkie.com, make your own stickers, use the promo code The Media Speaks. You'll save $10. Use the promo code Facebook if you prefer. You know, this week I was talking to my friends and I thought it was really funny.
Don't forget is it correct views or the correct views promo code?
The correct views where?
Sticker Junkie.
Oh, I think that's a code too. Yeah, use the correct views. You'll save $10. Yeah. I think I got that set. Like I said, I got to work on the website, check all that stuff, make sure it's all good. But the website, themediaspeaks.com, Sam and I, we got to have a talk about that after the show. But go there, but don't go there until I tell you to go there. Okay? Everyone, thanks for joining us today. I think we had a great show. Sam, geez, we talked about Gary Johnson, El Chapo, Trump, the Democrats, Hillary Clinton's email scandal. What else did we talk about? All those cool animals. I thought it was a good show. What do you think, Sam? Sam, did you freeze up right at the end? Sammy. All right, everybody, pour juice on your chin.